Man, I really was hoping that Corgi could tell the future. Weren't you Oilers fans? Welcome back! Welcome in if this is your first time to the channel. I'm Josh, this is the Hockey Flow, and tonight it's Saturday, June 4th, 2022. Avs Oilers Game 3 just wrapped up. And if you can't tell by my demeanor, the Oilers did lose. That's all right. But we'll get to that in just a moment on Today in Hockey. First, we got to get to headlines. Did have a couple of those. Then we'll get to my observations from tonight's game. We'll then go into tomorrow night's Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe even try to pick a winner. I lean heavily on the word try because right now we're on the struggle bus. We're in a bit of a rut, but it's okay. We'll try our best. We're going to conclude the evening with a real fun one. We're heading back to The Athletic for another article deep dive. This time we're looking at Vasi versus Igor, but we're looking at something I hadn't considered before, how this matchup is actually shaping the future of the Tendy position in Russia as we speak. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. If you do enjoy the content, take a moment, like the video, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. I am going to be bringing you videos daily. We did bring you one earlier today too, a nice fun one on the NHL draft. We went down and broke down the top 3 prospects and gave our prediction on who the Montreal Canadiens are going to pick. So I'll leave the link down in the description. Check that one out. If you enjoy it, please let me know. I really do appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? All right, headlines. First and foremost, Boston Bruins fans, a little bad news today. Charlie McAvoy did have shoulder surgery. He's going to be out 6 months. Will probably miss the start of the season. Him and his defenseman pairing Grzelcyk also had surgery, so looks like those two best buds are recouping together. But Montreal Canadiens, you guys are also in the headlines today. Carey Price did say he is preparing as if he is going to play next season, so I think that's very exciting. Carey Price is an all-time great, probably Hall of Famer. Probably Hall of Famer in my eyes. I fully expect him to have a bounce-back season if he does play. I think he's going to be a pillar for them, absolutely. He may only have a few years left, but it's Carey Price, man, Carey Price. But all right, let's dive into the game tonight. The Oilers-Avs, I tell you what, this one was tough. It was tough. It started out so great, didn't it, Oilers fans? McDavid scores 38 seconds in. We're humming, and then it kind of came back down to reality. We did end up losing 4-2. Colorado takes a 3-0 advantage in the series. These are my observations. I tell you what, this was not Mike Smith's fault. Again, he did have a little bit of a soft one for that third one, but I tell you what, he was great. 39 out of 42 in save chances. He was standing on his head, had a stack the pad save. He was flying around, almost had an error and made up for it, so good for him. Mike Smith, he played well, but Colorado's depth, it stood out again. Nichushkin had 2 goals. Compher had another goal. I think that's 5 in his last 4 now. I mean, Stars fans, tell me in the comments, is this the Val Nichushkin that you guys always wanted when you drafted him? It's all right. I mean, he's going to make some money this offseason, that's for sure. But I tell you what, Draisaitl, the man is a warrior. He was playing hurt again. He took a rough one from McKinnon early on. Folks are debating if that's dirty. Let me know in the comments where you land on that. I feel like it's going to be Oilers fans, yes. Avs fans, no. But it did feel like McKinnon was kind of gunning for Draisaitl all night, kept going for that ankle a little bit, it looked like, but that's okay. It's hockey. Draisaitl's a warrior. He stuck it out and he played well, played as best he could. But you got to give it to the man. He is doing all he can out there. Speaking of injuries, the big talking point is going to be in the first period. Vander Kane had a hit on Nazem Kadri that knocked him out of the game. It doesn't sound like it's very good either in that regard. He did not come back. It was a cross check. Plain as day, it was a cross-check, 5-minute major. Kane did not get ejected from the game with those boarding calls. There's some leeway, but overall, it's not good. Stop doing that nonsense. Kadri's hurt now. It stinks. It's not good for the game, right? But Oilers, we're going to try to do our best and not get swept here. Try to steal one at home again. Let's do it. Game 4, absolutely. All right, moving on to playoff picks. I did update my record, so you can't razz me this time. We are 34-24, still doing okay. Tomorrow night, we got Rangers Lightning, though, and the Lightning are in a 2-0, or down 0-2, excuse me. They can't go down 0-3, right? That's what I say about the Oilers, too. Now, don't get me wrong, the Oilers, I'm picking from a bit of a love spot there. That's my team, but the Lightning, they're just too good. And the Rangers, don't get me wrong, they've been playing great. They are looking excellent, top to bottom. I wish they got a little more credit out there in the universe, but Rangers fans, you guys hang in there. I think you're still going to hang in there and make this a really good series, but I picked the Lightning. I got to stick with the Lightning for this one as well. All right, time for the article deep dive. Speaking of this matchup, Vasi versus Igor and the Rangers and Lightning, that's what our article is. Andrei Vasilevskiy versus Igor Shesterkin. This is like a battle for supremacy. And this one comes to us from The Athletic by Michael Russo, wonderful author. Thank you for this one. This is a really great one because it brings up a dynamic that I hadn't thought of before, but these players, going against each other, this is Russia's finest, right? And Russia's Tendy position hasn't always been this magical thing that we're blessed with two excellent Tendies and other excellent ones in the league as well, but these two are the cream of the crop. We have our athletic player cards for both up, and you can see they're very comparable. Thank you, Dom. Thank you, Shayna. Appreciate these. Just wonderful job with them as well. But Vasi, 3.5 game score value added versus 4.2 for Igor, so you can see they're very similar in that regard. But this series, how it could shape a generation of Tendies in Russia. Igor is trying to knock Vasi off the pedestal. Right now, Vasi, if you ask people in Russia, and that was what was neat about this article, is Steve Valiquette, still has former teammates and friends in Russia, so he kind of has his finger on the pulse a little bit, so it was neat to see that angle. But Igor is trying to knock Vasi off that pedestal. Right now, Vasi's 27, Igor's 26. Age is that where the similarities end, according to Valiquette? Yes, that is. He said technically and structurally they are entirely different goalies. Igor is more upright, always trying to see around people. Vasi likes to sit more low. Don't get me wrong, he still has to see around traffic. He's not gigantic by any means, but he does like to sit a little lower. He gives some really great examples in the article, specific saves in particular, and how the different goalies treat the different situations. It was really cool, but he did also talk about what makes each one really special, right? And Igor, it's his puck tracking, that IQ. He talks about how him and Lundqvist will sit there and watch and just in awe at Igor tracking the puck through traffic and reading it off the stick. It's a thing of beauty. And Vasilevskiy, he's not a slouch by any means, but for him, what they talk about is the elite athleticism, how he can bounce back and forth, how he can move, how he can contort. It's that really separates him above the rest. So, and that ties into why are they so good, right? Now, just because we say Igor is good at this and his IQ is better doesn't mean he's bad. In the other way, to be an excellent Tendy in the NHL, you have to have the complete package, and both gentlemen are. They just maybe stand out in different areas, right? They're polar opposites. They're both Russian Tendies, but that's where it ends, right? Flexibility, agility, and athleticism is what Brian Boucher says when it comes down to why are these two so good, and that speaks back to Vasi. The elite athleticism, Igor, we see it all the time. He's got that elite athleticism as well. They just play the game a little bit different, right? They have different styles. Igor even calls Vasi the best. That's talking about lifting him, or supplanting him on the pedestal there. This is what we're talking about. Igor even looks at Vasi as the best. And don't get me wrong, every athlete is going to be confident and probably inside he thinks, yeah, I'm better than Vasi. Absolutely. But it's neat to see him be humble and respect each other, because they do. There is that mutual respect for each other. But this article was excellent. I'll leave it, the link down in the description for you guys. As always, highly recommend it. I'm sure we're going to come back here. He does also go into it. I won't go too much into it, but the Russian Tendy change about 2010 was where that change happened. And it actually changed with Russia getting, I believe it was Sweden's goaltending plans and how they put together their goaltending program. So definitely check that out. Let me know in the comments if you want me to go into more detail on that one. We absolutely can. But the big question, who are you taking as your goalie today? Are you taking Vasi, or are we taking Igor? Myself, I don't know. Igor's playing out of his mind right now. Vasi's a little peaks and valleys. I think I'm going Igor if I had to pick absolutely right now. But Lightning fans, I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments. Please do. I want to know who you guys will pick. That's going to do it for the video. That's going to do it for the deep dive. Another excellent article. I appreciate you guys. If you've made it this far, we are doing a giveaway at the channel right now. We're just starting out, so we're on our road to 100 subscribers. I really appreciate. Thank you so much for all the support so far. I'm going to keep bringing videos to you because I love this. This is fun talking hockey. But for the giveaway, all you have to do is be subscribed right now. If we need anything else at a later date, we'll make sure to present it to you guys. But until next time, cheers.